I am outside of the Goodwill on Hugh Howell Road in Tucker, Georgia, and I'm about to go inside. Apparently, we're going to get an ice storm later today in Georgia. Right now, it's still kind of warm, so I'm kind of wondering what's going to happen. But anyway, I'm going to pop in here. The weather doesn't seem to be keeping the shoppers away so far, and see if I can find some new stuff for my antique and vintage booth. So I got a cart and I've already placed a few things into it. I've got 13 pieces of Franciscan stoneware in the apple pattern, and it's $9.09 for all 13 pieces. So I decided to get all of it. This is not super valuable, but it's nice and I'm gonna get it. I also found an adorable ramekin in the strawberries and cream pattern by Sheffield, $1.09. I'm going to grab that. And I got two mugs that I just really like the look of them, even though they're not vintage. They are secondhand new. So put those in the cart as well. Let's see what else we can find. Look at this cheese board. I've never seen one like this before. I love all the olives and the olive oils on it. Unfortunately, it has no cloche. For the top, it's $4.09, and the chances of me finding a cloche that will fit are pretty slim. This figurine sure is pretty, but to be honest, I don't really know anything about these Victorian figurines. There's a sticker that says $7.99 with a barcode. I'm not sure about this. I'm gonna leave it. This is Corelle. Actually, it doesn't look like the Corelle you would normally see. The pattern is called Blue Violets, and they want $6.09 for this stack of small plates. I'm gonna leave these for somebody else. Look at this cute little snowman figurine, $2.09. Here's a price tag from an antique store, probably, and they had it marked at just $5. I like this. I'm gonna grab it. These are cute in a cottage kitchen-y type of way. Oh, they're Pfaltzgraff. I haven't seen this pattern before. $7.09 for this stack of dinner plates. I'm gonna leave these. There's some pretty terracotta stuff down here on the bottom shelf. I'm not sure if I have room for all this stuff in the booth or not. I've put all the stuff in my cart, but I'm still not sure. This is so discolored, this little bowl. This big bowl is in better shape. $3.09 for the big bowl. And then the smaller bowls, $1.09 a piece. This one has that discoloration on it. I just don't know what to do. I like them. I've also grabbed this enamel pot and put it in my cart. Enamel is just really popular in our store. $4.09. The stamp is obscured, so I'm not sure what it is. It's got a little tiny chip on the rim, but I think that I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna head to the register now. I think I did pretty well today. My little blue pot's right here in the kitty seat. All right, well, they had a lot of different stuff. I had just been here last week and they had a lot of cool stuff. I'm going to go home and get it all spread out on the dining room table, and then I can tell you what I paid and what I expect to be able to sell each item for in my antique booth. Okay, I'm back home and it's the next day. I've got everything spread out on my kitchen counter. We did get our ice storm and we got really lucky. It just wasn't that bad, at least not where we are in Atlanta, Georgia. We've had much worse ice storms where the ice is just very thick and heavy on the trees and it causes tree limbs to fall. We basically live, even in Atlanta, we live in like an old growth forest. It's just the city of trees. If you ever fly in to Hartsfield, our airport and look down, you'll see that we truly live in a forest. The Northerners all laugh at us and stuff when we are having a snow event, but ice is very dangerous for us. It's not flat here, it's very hilly, so it causes cars to slip and slide all over the place. We live in a city of trees. The ice makes the tree limbs very heavy and they fall on our power lines, and then of course we're stuck with freezing temperatures and no heat. So we got extremely lucky. Obviously I'm sitting here with you with all my power on, my lights on, my heat on today. So as you could see during the Goodwill trip, I really went back and forth as to whether or not I should buy the terracotta pottery that is in the thumbnail. And I decided to get it all. And I think I may have made a mistake. A costly mistake. I didn't spend a ton on it. I will get into all of that a little bit later in this haul. It's not really my personal style, so I'm not interested in keeping it if I did make a mistake on this. I'm gonna put it in the booth and just do the best with it that I can. I got a bunch of Franciscan stoneware in the apple pattern, and I got 13 pieces for $9.09. Now, this stuff is not super valuable, but I think it's pretty, and it's definitely collectible. I have 3 different stamps on the bottom to show you. The saucers, here's the stamp on one of them. This, you can tell already, is a newer stamp. This one was made after Franciscan was acquired by Johnson Brothers Company in 1995. So this stamp means it's 1995 or newer. On another one of the saucers, here's the Flying F stamp. This one, based on what I could tell, means that it is from the 1970s until 1995, which is when Franciscan was acquired by Johnson Brothers, and the stamp looks like this. So I've got different ages on my saucers here. Now these are hand painted, so they're not going to be identical, even if they were made at the same time. They're going to have some variations in the pattern. I think these are really special, and honestly, because my antique booth is in an area of Georgia where we're famous for our apples, our apple orchards, apples are just going to always be popular for us up there. Some of my cups have the Made in England embossed stamp on the bottom. That's going to be hard to see. I'll show you a picture of it here though. And some of my cups don't have that embossed stamp at all. Here's a clue as to what I have here, is that there's a little string on here. This means that an antique dealer or vintage reseller with an antique booth went out of business basically, or donated these items back and didn't bother to take their price tag off. So it's all Franciscan, but it's all like different ages, and I think that's fine. I did really well with 13 pieces for $9, and I'm not sure yet what I'm going to price each cup and saucer set at. For one thing, I have 8 cups and only 5 saucers. It's okay. I'm pretty sure I have one of these cups already in the booth without its saucers. Oh wait, that's not going to help me. Math. I'm actually going to go look in booth OHS. I've shown you their booth a couple of times in my videos, and I'm going to see what because they have a bunch of this stuff, I'm going to see what theirs are priced for, and I'm basically going to price it exactly the same. Next up, if you've been watching my channel, you will know that strawberry kitchen patterns are a personal favorite of mine. Not only that, they're just really hot right now in vintage resale. This pattern is called Strawberries and Cream, and the company is Sheffield. Let me show you the bottom of this because I didn't take the sticker off, so I can show you the stamp. And it was $1.09. This is what the stamp looks like. It's adorable. Has a strawberry on it. This should sell for $10. Unfortunately, there was only one. I think I need to go back and look because sometimes the stocking employees just don't get everything out on the shelves at the same time. It sure would be nice to find at least one more of these. Okay, the next thing I have to show you is this green. Now I call this Hobnail teardrop. Hobnail by itself is just a round dot, but these actually look like teardrops. This is a mid-century vase. I have bought and sold these at least 3 or 4 times now. This was just $2.09 and it should sell for $16. I really love this color. This grass green color isn't super popular right now, but I love it and I like the way that it shows up in the booth. It just looks so pretty with other colors. And like for instance, I don't know, I just love primary colors, I guess. All right, next I got this little thing. Okay, so this is by Kirkland and these are collectible. I just really think it's cute. It's a votive holder and it's called Circle of Friends. It comes in different combinations of the friends. Mine has an angel, a snowman, and a Santa. Some of them are all angels, some of them are all snowmen, so obviously you could collect these in the different combinations, and I just think it's adorable. Now this came from an antique store, and this person was only asking $5 for this. This definitely sells for more than $5. It was $2.09. That's what I paid for it. I'm seeing these online for $35. I'm not going to get $35 for this in the store. This is an example of something where I could definitely make more money if I sold online. There is also a little problem that I didn't notice until I got home. With Santa's shoulder, right here, there's a crack right here, but the crack does not extend all the way underneath his arm. So this is not something where his arm broke off and then was glued back on. Show you this again. I think this is just a pottery problem and that it's not a repair. I guess I will put as is on it and explain what's wrong with it on the back of the tag. I have also had some viewers telling me on YouTube that I should have a little section of my booth dedicated to vintage Christmas all year round, and I really like that idea because I love vintage Christmas. And basically what they were saying was people buy Christmas all year round, and that's probably true. If it doesn't sell, I'm going to keep it for myself because I love it. I think it's adorable. I will probably put $20 on it and also explain what's wrong with it and put it in the booth for now and see what happens. If I am able to tackle that booth renovation of having a section devoted to Christmas, I'm going to share all that with you in a video for sure. Next up, these are new. They are not vintage, but I just like them. I just like the 1980s vibe that they are putting off. And of course, I like bright colors. These were just $1.39 a piece. They are nice quality. They're large. They hold a lot of coffee and they are stackable. I think there probably should have been 4 of them, but I like that there's 2. And I'm going to put $8 each on these and see how it goes. Again, we don't pretend that something is vintage that is not vintage. Some antique dealers will just write new on the tag or secondhand new or something along those lines to indicate that, yes, we are aware that this is not vintage or an antique, but it's still cute. Secondhand new. Okay, so next I have this lovely blue enamel pot. Now, enamel cookware is just really hot in North Georgia, where my antique store is. We are in the North Georgia mountains. People like it for camping, but people also just like the way it looks in their cabins. So I had no idea what this was. There's a stamp on the bottom and half of it's coming off. It's very hard to read, but I was able to determine that the stamp says made in Poland and that the brand is Ban Marie. So This is an enamel pot, but I think that it's supposed to be a double boiler and that I don't have all the pieces that I'm supposed to have. If it was a double boiler, it'd have another pot on the top and then the lid goes over the top. But the lid fits. I'm going to go back to that store as soon as the weather improves. I don't know if Goodwill is open today or not, but maybe I'll try to get out tomorrow, go back to the store and see if that other little piece, that little blue pot, is sitting there on the shelves to see if I can get the whole thing. Regardless, I paid $4.09 for this, and I think it will sell for $24 as is, just like this. So it's still cool, even if it was supposed to be a double boiler and is missing the top pot, it still would work just fine on its own. Okay, now some of you might have been saying, Julie, you know that's not vintage Pyrex, right? And yes, I know that these are not vintage Pyrex. I use these for food storage, so I bought these for myself. They are Pyrex. They were $3.09 a piece, and I've got a bunch of these. These come in all kinds of cool patterns. They come in Christmas patterns, just everything you can think of. They come in Star Wars patterns even. So what happens with these is over time, first of all, don't put your lids in the dishwasher, because even if you wash them only by hand over time, these are going to crack, these plastic covers. But you can buy replacement covers for these on Amazon. And in my opinion, these replacement ones are sturdier and they fit tighter to create more of an airtight seal on your food storage. I just really like to store my food in glass. I don't like it to store in plastic. Despite the fact that I sell Tupperware, I don't use it to store food because I don't like that Tupperware smell, like leaching into my food. You know what I mean about that Tupperware smell. You can taste the Tupperware smell. Anyway, I don't like any of that, and I like to store my food in the fridge in glass. And the star of the show, or is it the flop of the show, is my Terracotta Southwestern Pottery. When I got a chance to really look this stuff up, first Google Lens was saying that the company was Highmark and that it was made in Portugal. But mine does not have the stamp that it should have. This one looks like it had a round black stamp on it that washed off. I just don't know. It's clearly got this black circle here. Okay, my salsa and chips bowl. So the chips bowl, if it was Portuguese by Highmark, it should also have the stamp, and it doesn't. Also, the ones that I was seeing that were Highmark, the salsa bowl fits over on the side. I kind of like how mine fits in the middle and has the indentation here. So based on what I can tell is I have a knockoff here, and that is just southwestern terracotta pottery is what I'm going to call it, I guess, or stoneware. The Highmark Portuguese stuff has larger red dots on it. This is all done by hand though, and I still think it's pretty. It's again not my style, so it's not something I'm interested in keeping for myself. I'm gonna do my best with it. Another mistake that I made is that this is supposed to have a lid. I saw one, I think it was Etsy seller selling the whole set, and their pot had a lid on it and mine doesn't. So I guess I will call this a large bowl or a crock. I really don't know. And then I've got one very discolored bowl and several nice ones. And then my salsa bowl is also discolored with that black stuff on it. I just don't know what this is or if it can come off. I guess I'll try a magic eraser. If you know anything about terracotta and what causes all of this discoloration to develop, and if I can remove it or if I can't remove it, please let me know, because like I said, I clearly don't know anything about terracotta. I guess I have just a knockoff of the Highmark stuff. I paid $3.09 for the large bowl, which doesn't have a lid, and I'll put 18 on it. The 4 soup bowls were $1.09 a piece. I was gonna put $8 a piece on those. Maybe I'll put $6 on the one that's all discolored. And then the chips and salsa set is really cute. I would imagine that it's gonna sell first. It was $4.18 total, and I will put $28 on this. It was probably a mistake, and there was a reason why I just went back and forth trying to decide whether or not I wanted to buy it or not. But I did, and you know what? I kind of just needed some stuff for my booth anyway. It's going to take up a lot of room, but I have some room because I haven't been very lucky lately on my thrift haul trip. So I do have some room for all this big bulky stuff. Sometimes I make mistakes. It's kind of hard to always know what the right thing is to do. I think that this stuff is pretty and it's interesting, and that it is going to be someone's style, despite the fact that it is probably not Portuguese by Highmark. Well, I have found that when I'm not so sure about myself, that cats generally make me feel better. So our cat of the day reading for today is brought to you by this adorable little tuxedo kitten. This kitty won 3rd place for this calendar. So it says, "Is there a better sight for sore eyes than gorgeous Oliver? The fact that the tuxedo now can stroll through his yard on his own terms is a fantastic bonus. Oliver was found in our neighbor's bushes," reveals Allison Stacy from Dallas, Texas. "He was sick and underweight, but with some tender, loving care is now a healthy 15-pound boy. This is a picture from when we first found him. We're sure it was a welcome discovery for both of them." Isn't he adorable? Look how cute he looks with the dandelion, the yellow, the black, and the white. It's just a stunning photo. Well, as always, I'm so happy that you were able to join me today, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.